Next up on the Chicago Bears wide receiver free agent profile list is Chargers wide receiver Mike Williams. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears and here to talk about Big Mike Williams and let you know if he is a good fit for the Bears to go after this offseason or not. If you're new to the channel, hit the big red subscribe button down below. Make sure you're following me on all my social media platforms, guys. And as always, hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video. So let's take a look and talk about Mike Williams, a guy who surprised a lot of people, including myself, with the season that he had this past season. All right, so in 15 games, Mike Williams had a career-high 67 catches and a career-high 1,027 receiving yards, okay? Didn't have a career-high in touchdowns. He's had more than that before, but he came close, okay? He's 6'4", 218 pounds, and he's only 27 years old, so still relatively young. And here's the thing with Mike Williams, folks, okay? Mike Williams is a big, strong down the field receiver. So unlike the other guys that I've been talking about really for the Bears, right? When we talk about guys like Christian Kirk, when we're talking about, other guys like a Michael Gallup, like Mike Williams is the big receiver, right? He's the big receiver that you can utilize in the red zone. But here's the thing about Mike Williams. He's still a down the field threat. And that's the major difference between a guy like Mike Williams and Allen Robinson. See, Allen Robinson wasn't a vertical threat that Mike Williams is. Allen Robinson was more of the in the middle of the field guy, a possession receiver. Mike Williams can get behind you even at his size. Again, 6'4", 218. That's a big boy in terms of NFL standards, right? And he's a guy you can utilize down the field, and he's a guy you can utilize in the red zone. And so the more and more I think about Mike Williams, the more I'm intrigued by the fit that he would have, because you put him alongside Darnell Mooney. See, here's the problem, right? You put Mike Williams alongside Mooney, you'll have a big receiver like an A-Rob was, but you'll have a guy who's still got that vertical threat. Same with Mooney, who's, again, smaller in stature, but has the vertical game. And it's all about the vertical passing game for the Bears this season, right? With Justin Fields, we want to utilize the vertical passing game to be able to capitalize on his accuracy down the field, right? He's got a cannon. I want to use it. So I want deep shots. And you need guys who can get behind DBs and catch those deep shots. Darnell Mooney already does that. Mike Williams can do that, but we can also use him in the red zone, which is a plus because we've had to use dusty old Jimmy Graham the past 2 seasons because we didn't have another red zone threat, again, outside of A-Rob, who last season, it was a disaster. So that's where I'm intrigued by Mike Williams. Now, here are my question marks. Number one, can he be a true number one receiver? Because make no mistake about it, unlike these other guys, Michael Gallup, Christian Kirk, Mike Williams is going to charge you, pun intended, he is going to command big time dollars, right? We're talking wide receiver one money. And I'm not saying he's not worth it, but I do have questions of if he can produce like that. He's always had Keenan Allen, who's been the slot guy, but still the number one receiver for the Chargers. So can Mike Williams be that de facto number one true alpha receiver and be worthy of the dollars that he's going to command? And that's kind of where I've got question marks here. But unlike the other guys, again, we're not worried about no major injuries like a Chris Godwin. We're not worried about size like a Christian Kirk. And we're not worried about those things. What we're worried about is, can he be a number one receiver? And I believe he can. But again, price tag, everybody's got a price. That's kind of where I'm at. So with Mike Williams, I wouldn't mind at all. Absolutely, the Bears should look to go ahead and talk to him and see kind of what he's commanding. But as far as a fit, yeah, folks, vertical, deep threat guys who can even, catch the football yards after the catch. Mike Williams checks a lot of the boxes. And he's got the size to be utilized in the red zone, unlike these other receivers that I mentioned to you guys. So as far as the guys that have gone so far, from Gallup to Kirk to Juju to Godwin, like all these guys that have gone so far, Mike Williams is near the top of the list for me, right? He is near the top, if not the top. So how do you guys feel about Mike Williams, Big Mike Williams? Leave a comment down below if you want the Bears to go after him. Keep in mind, he is going to be expensive. He is going to command wide receiver one money. Will he be worth it? Let me know down below. I do think that he could be worth that. As always, thanks for watching.